Hi, it's Gordon De Silva again, and I'm back with Chief Engineer Ken. Ken, this is a job for one of our members. Um, we took them on as members and did a report on their roof. Can we just talk us through some of these photographs of what we found up there?
Yes, Gordon. This member, he joined the RCC, but he'd had some work done to his roof previously by a roofing contractor, and he hadn't seen what was done on his
How
roof.
long ago was that, do you think?
Probably about within the last couple of years, I would say, he had this
Okay,
work done probably.
right.
And you can see by looking at this ridge tile there that the cement work had all fallen out, leaving a great big hole in the roof. This has obviously been like this for a long, long time, and the guy who repaired the roof hadn't even made no attempt to touch this at all.
And how much had he paid for that? Did the client tell you?
He didn't tell me what he paid for it, but I made him aware what he'd paid for. He was quite upset.
So let's have a look at some of those. So that's the ridge, another
That's
ridge
yes,
tile,
the
or
cement
same
work,
ridge tile,
yeah.
yeah. Clearly, you can see the thing is very old. It's not something that has happened just recently. There's a lot of weathering to the
Yes.
damage, so it's not as if it wasn't spotted or couldn't have been spotted at the time.
Well, I saw it straight away, so obviously the guy working on the roof would have seen it himself straight away. But a lot of them leave that sort of thing so they get called back on another day to repair another repair to a roof.
Now this was interesting because again we took a picture, we took the photographs before we stepped onto the roof just to make sure that the client was aware of what the damage was. So let's talk us through what you find here. And I found that quite surprising when you told me.
Well, this silver reflective paper you see on the roof here is called flash bands. It's an adhesive backed like baking foil basically, and it looks like lead from the ground.
It looks pretty secure from to me. To tell me what the problems are with flashband, to me, I've seen flashband and I think that's good stuff.
Well, it comes unstuck after a while, starts to peel off, then cracks and splits as well. But if you've paid for lead and you've got this, then you're going to have problems anyway.
Oh, so this client actually thought he was paying for lead, which is actually quite expensive, isn't it, Ken?
Yes, yes.
Lead is. I mean, people steal lead from church roofs and things in the past. I think even now I've heard of stories where they're stealing. So lead is quite expensive. So this client paid for lead.
Yes, he paid for lead, and what he got was flash bang because he hadn't checked on the work afterwards. And as you can see by the pictures there, it's all starting to wrinkle and come up. And you can buy this in a 5 metre roll for say under £6-7 from any big DIY store. And you just peel the back off and stick it on, and it stays stuck for a couple of years. Then after a while, it starts to peel off. So the problems you had before come back to you again.
So you're saying a 5 metre roll would cost what, about £50? Did you say?
About a 3 metre roll costs you about under £8 for 3 metres.
So
of it,
maybe
yeah.
there's probably about 3 or 5 rolls. So let's say it costs £50
Yeah.
in the materials. How much would you have paid for lead for the same sort of?
I would say the lead probably about £1,300-1,400 for that whole area to be done
So
properly.
£1,300 to £1,400. So he may have been charged 13 of. I mean, out of embarrassment, we didn't want to ask and make the deal. But if he had paid £1,300 and got £50 worth of flashing, that's taking advantage, isn't it?
But it's pretty common though. People look from the ground. It looks like flashbang. It looks like lead, sorry, and they get flashbang, and it's quite common. I see it probably 2 or 3 times a week on various parts of people's roofs. They, as far as they know, they pay for lead because
Yeah.
it does look like lead from the ground. It
Well,
shines.
I thought I actually did think it was lead.
Yes,
I was actually led to believe when I sort of looked at it. I thought, oh, this is the same as lead. I'll just get some of that. In my heyday when I used to do DIY, but clearly, yeah, I wasn't in the know. So let's just talk this again. The client themselves. Why didn't they get up on the roof to find out if the guy had done the job? If he's paid sort of £2,000 for doing the job,
he's quite an old customer, quite an old person.
Roughly how old
anyway.
is he?
He's probably early 60s, I would have thought anyway. And the back of the property you can't see because this is on the back of the house that you can't really see. From the front you're about to see this, but from the back you have to get up on the roof and over to see this. And also when they put the flash band on, they broke some of the tiles as well. Some of the tiles also started slipping. So he had more problems than he first started off with, basically, apart from having the work done by, again, a cowboy roofer.
and getting charged for something he didn't get.
Absolutely, yes. Plus, it caused more damage as well while he was up there.
Yeah, you can understand his upset when he finds out. And clearly, by taking photographs, again, our policy is always to take photographs before, during, and after to make sure that we're completely seen as trustworthy. Because the client, we understand, clients can't get up ladders like you can. I mean, I wouldn't be prepared to get up a ladder up 2 stories, and I'm glad that somebody like you does. But because I wouldn't, it's really nice to know that these photographs will show me what you've been doing up there.
That's right. I mean, most roofers know that whatever they do on the roof will probably go unrecorded by the person they're doing it for.
Yeah.
'Cause no one goes on their roof to check on. If you say you paid £2,000, you assume it's been done to a high standard.
Yeah.
Then 18 months later, the problems reappear again, and the guy who done it for you is nowhere to be found.
So one of the recommendations I would have, I think, if I was advising someone watching this video, would be first of all to make sure that you keep an eye on what the roofer's doing. Maybe ask to see the materials he's taking up there, and make sure it is lead, and be aware that this stuff here it's like sticky back plastic, I think, for the roofing trade. And school kids use sticky back plastics for their books. This is the equivalent of using this like sticky back plastic for a roof, and that's clearly not going to do the job in any length of time.
Well, again, Gordon, I mean, what he takes up on the roof, what you get, he might take the lead up there, you'll see him do that, but he might not lay the lead, he might just have a flashbang up there as well that he will use, then bring the lead down, you'll be none the wiser. You can't watch him all the time he's up there working, can you?
And if he doesn't take pictures on the way down before he leaves, then
yes.
you can't really tell. So get photographic evidence. That's one of the things we do on every single job we attend. And this was showing that the slippage has happened a while ago. As you can see, the weathering underneath, and you can see how thin this material is compared to lead. Is that
well,
right?
you can see the colour of the tiles there. I mean, where the red is where it's quite a recent. It slipped quite recently. Probably until the guy done the flashbang, that tile's probably sitting in place, probably how it should have been done. They put in the flashbang, he's knocked it out of place, has made an attempt to push it back under. But you see where I pulled the flashbang up, see exactly what it is. It's like adhesive backed baking foil. It's okay for a temporary repair, but to do a proper roofing repair, you need to have either lead or sand and cement and small cut tiles that will do exactly the same job as the lead. But to put flashbang up there,
I mean, I think we can see some of the holes that you were telling. You said it tears really easily.
Oh, absolutely. It's a couple of years. That is it. It's great for a temporary repair. But lead.
In fact, Ken, sticky back plastic doesn't tear so easily as this.
That's right. It doesn't.
Well,
no. It basically is like baking foil with an adhesive bitumen back. That's all it is.
Great. Look, Ken, thanks for talking us through that one. That was an interesting case study, and if you're watching this video, just beware out there what's going on your roof. Good to hear from you.
Thank you.